Darkness. Cold. Silence. Then, light. A single containment pod flickers to life, its glass surface fogging as ancient machinery hisses and groans. Ronan Vallis gasps for air as freezing liquid drains away, his body convulsing from the shock of reawakening. His muscles, once honed for battle, feel sluggish, but his mind snaps into focus. He stumbles forward, bare feet touching the icy metal floor. The room around him is vast yet lifeless, lined with towering cryopods covered in frost. The facility is in decay, walls cracked, flickering lights barely illuminating the remnants of a forgotten past. Something is wrong. He was supposed to wake with his brothers in arms. Instead, the silence is suffocating. His breath is unsteady as he reaches a rusted terminal. His fingers, stiff from centuries of sleep, tap against the cracked screen. The words flashing before him are a gut punch. Cryostasis duration, 50,000 years. Earth, status unknown. Human race, extinct. His pulse pounds in his ears. Extinct. That's impossible. His last memory is of war, humanity's final stand against the Zelvery Empire. Earth's fall was inevitable, but extinction? That wasn't the plan. They were supposed to wake when the tide turned, not in the aftermath of total annihilation. He clenches his jaw, forcing the panic down. He needs answers. He surveys the chamber, row upon row of cryopods, untouched but unpowered. Thousands of soldiers still lie within, frozen relics of a war lost to time. If he's awake, then the systems must have triggered. He just has to figure out why. A dull hum fills the air. Ronan's instincts flare, something else is active. He follows the sound, pushing through debris until he finds a still-functioning holopad. A faded emblem of the United Human Defense Corps blinks before him, then a voice crackles through old speakers. Commander Ronan Vallis, if you are hearing this, the war is lost. This facility was designed to preserve our greatest warriors for a future where humanity might rise again. If you are awake, something has gone terribly wrong. You are alone. The message distorts, but the weight of its meaning presses down on him. Alone. He grits his teeth. Not for long. His soldiers, 10,000 of humanity's deadliest, are still here, waiting. If he can restore power, he can wake them. But before that, he needs to know what kind of galaxy he's just woken up to. He takes a deep breath, steadying himself. The mission has changed, but his purpose remains. Survive. Adapt. Fight. Because if humanity is gone, then the galaxy is about to learn that extinction is a lie. The terminal flickers again, displaying corrupted logs and fragmented data. Ronan scrolls through them, piecing together the grim reality. The Zelvery Empire still rules, unchallenged. Humanity's name exists only in whispers, myths told by conquered species. No records of Earth remain. It's as if his people never existed. A static-laced voice breaks the silence. Warning. Unauthorized presence detected. The facility's security AI, barely functional after millennia, struggles to life. Its glitching interface identifies him as human but flags external movement, lifeforms approaching. Ronan's fingers tighten into fists. He moves quickly, retrieving a rusted combat knife from an emergency kit. The weight feels familiar, a relic from a war long past, yet his instincts remain sharp. He follows the Ari's weak sensor feed, leading him to a crumbling observation deck overlooking the desolate landscape. A ship descends. Sleek, black, and unmistakably Zelvery. Slavers. They aren't here for him, they think the facility is abandoned, another forgotten ruin to plunder. But the moment they detect life, they will assume he is nothing more than a primitive survivor, ripe for capture. He watches as they deploy. 4 of them, tall and slender, their bioarmor shifting like living shadows. Arrogant. Overconfident. The Zelvery never saw humans as anything more than dangerous animals until humanity proved otherwise in war. They don't know who he is. They don't know what he is. He moves before they can react. Silent steps, knife flashing in the dim light. The first Zelvery barely registers his presence before the blade carves through its throat. The second manages a choked sound before Ronan rips a stolen plasma pistol from its fallen comrade and fires twice, one shot for each of the last two. The fight is over in seconds. His heart pounds, but not from exertion. This was nothing. A scouting party. There will be more. He searches their ship, dragging bodies aside, scanning for anything useful. Most of their tech is alien to him, but war has a universal language. Weapons, armor, a crude comm system. More important, a log. This patrol was reporting back to a Zelvery outpost. If they don't respond, others will come. He checks his time. Minutes, maybe an hour before they're missed. The cryopods remain dark, the warriors still frozen. He needs to override the system, force an emergency awakening. His fingers fly across stolen controls, bypassing outdated security protocols. A final command input. Systems hum to life. Deep beneath the facility, mechanisms that have been silent for 50 millennia begin to stir. Ice cracks, hissing as ancient warriors begin to wake. Ronan exhales, gripping the stolen rifle. They're coming. Let them. By the time they arrive, he won't be alone. The first cryopod unlocks with a deafening hiss. Then another. Steam rolls across the floor as ancient warriors take their first gasping breaths in 50,000 years. Their bodies shudder from the shock, but they adapt quickly, built for war, engineered for survival. Ronan watches as the first of them rise, their eyes flickering with confusion before settling into hard focus. They recognize him immediately. Their commander. Their leader. The last man standing from a war that should have been lost. A voice breaks through the haze. How long? The soldier's tone is steady, but Ronan sees the tension in his stance. These men were prepared to fight, not to wake in an empty, crumbling tomb. 50 millennia, Ronan answers. The words weigh heavy in the air. Some flinch. Others clench their fists. None ask the question he knows lingers in their minds. If they're awake now, then humanity is gone. More warriors stir, their numbers growing by the second. Weapons caches are cracked open, armor refitted, old systems scavenged for anything still functional. The technology around them is ancient, outdated, but human ingenuity thrives on adaptation. What they lack in resources, they will take. Ronan steps forward, meeting their gazes. Listen well. The enemy still exists. The galaxy thinks we're dead. They think they won. But we're here. His voice hardens. And we are not done. The murmurs fade, replaced by something deeper. A slow, rising certainty. A soldier does not grieve during battle. He fights. And these men, these warriors, were built for war. Alarms blare. The Zelvery have noticed the silence from their patrol. More ships are coming. Ronan turns, his grip tightening around his stolen weapon. Prepare for contact, he orders. And remember, this isn't the end. This is where we begin. 10,000 warriors stand ready. The galaxy isn't prepared for what happens next. The first Zelvery dropships cut through the sky, sleek and predatory. They expect a salvage run. A cleanup. A handful of primitive survivors at most. They have no idea what's waiting for them. Ronan watches from cover, his men positioned along the ruined facility's perimeter. No wasted movement. No panic. The moment the enemy touches the ground, the trap is sprung. Gunfire erupts. Zelvery soldiers barely register the attack before they're cut down. Plasma fire lights up the battlefield, but the warriors move like ghosts, adapting to the terrain, closing distance faster than the aliens can react. One by one, the invaders fall. The slavers become the hunted. The Zelvery commander stumbles back, activating his comms. Ronan doesn't let him finish. A single shot ends the transmission. It doesn't matter. The enemy fleet is already moving. More ships descend, heavier units deploying. The ground trembles as Zelvery war machines stride forward, energy cannons glowing. This should be overwhelming. It should be impossible. But Ronan's forces don't break. They move. They strike. Scavenged weapons tear through alien armor. Human tactics outmaneuver brute force. Explosions rip through the battlefield as stolen charges find their marks. What should have been a massacre becomes a slaughter, but not for them. The tide turns. The Zelvery try to retreat. They never expected a fight. Never expected humans. Ronan hijacks their comms, his voice cutting through their panicked chatter. Humanity has returned. A pause. Run while you can. The last Zelvery ships attempt escape. Some make it. Most don't. Fire rains down as the final enemies are eliminated. Silence follows. Not peace. Just a pause. Ronan steps through the wreckage, his men standing tall behind him. The battle is over, but the war has just begun. He looks up at the sky, at the endless stars beyond. Their future isn't written. It's time to take it back.